years ago, I did a tutorial on how to do gum paste. I had a little typo in it where I wrote 12 tablespoons instead of teaspoons. So I'm doing this video to make sure that the recipe is followed correctly. If you like this type of tutorial, feel free to subscribe to my channel. Also, if you speak Spanish, go check my Spanish channel. All the links posted in the comment box below. I will suggest to watch the video fully because I will give tips on how to fix issues you might encounter while making gum paste. You will need the whites of 4 eggs, and the eggs needs to be jumbo eggs. It will make a difference if you use smaller eggs. If you don't have anything at hand other than smaller eggs, I will suggest to add 1 more egg white. You want to beat the egg whites in your mixer for around 10 seconds in high speed just to break them down. Once you have done that, you want to add the sugar. You will need a 2-pound bag of confectioner's sugar. I am saving a whole cup to knead the dough at the end. The rest you can add to the mixer. If your sugar has lumps in it, I would suggest to make sure to sift the sugar. I am using the paddle of my KitchenAid. Don't use the whisk. We're trying to mix this, not bring air into it. If you prefer, you can add the sugar little by little. I added the whole thing at once so you can see it still will mix fine. This is what I call the royal icing stage. You want to start mixing this at a slow setting so the powdered sugar doesn't fly everywhere. And once you have all the sugar in there, put it at a medium setting and mix well. The mixture should look like soft peaks. It should be shiny too. You want to mix this for around 4 minutes. This is how you want the mixture to look like. Now that you saw how the mixture should look, I'm gonna show you what it shouldn't look like. You can see I am adding sugar and I don't even know how much sugar I have added. As you can see, the mixture is hard, it's crumbly. This is too hard and you haven't even added the Tylose yet. If you are getting this at this stage, it means that you will need another egg white. Now would be the time to add it. Gum paste is easy to make and is very forgivable, but you need to know what to do to fix it. You can see how hard it is. It's really not very workable at all, and this is mostly what it should look like once you have added Tylose to it. So at this stage, this is way too stiff. I added so much sugar to the mix that it was so hard that I had to add 2 egg whites to fix the consistency. But once I added and started mixing, I got a good consistency once again. If you get a royal icing consistency that is too hard, I suggest to add 1 egg white at a time and see how it looks before you add another one. Typically, you will need only 1 extra egg white. I added a lot of sugar to this mix, so I had to add 2. So always keep in mind when buying eggs for your gum paste, it's best to use jumbo eggs. If you have nothing but smaller eggs, just make sure to keep your eye at the consistency in the royal icing stage. Like with everything you do when baking, make sure that you scrape your bowl and make sure that everything is mixing properly. Since I added 2 egg whites and I'm not sure how much sugar I added extra, my mix is a little bit on the softer side. But I rather have this than have it too hard. And I will show you that it still will work. I am going to add my Tylose. I am adding 12 teaspoons of Tylose, and yes, teaspoons, not tablespoons. This is the only thing I will make sure to say. You want to sprinkle the Tylose everywhere in the mix slowly so it gets everywhere. The Tylose will make your gum paste harden up. Once you add the Tylose, the mix will get really hard. Your mixer will have a hard time trying to mix everything. As you can see, I am mixing this at a low setting. As you can see, the Tylose has hardened this up. It has a perfect consistency for my preference. What you don't really want is a big hard lump of gum paste. And the way to avoid the big lump of gum paste is to make sure that at the royal ice stage it's not too stiff. You want to make a bed of sugar with that cup of sugar you had saved earlier. I tend to put shortening in my hands so nothing sticks to my hands because the mixture is very sticky at this point. Once you have your bed of sugar, you want to put the gum paste on top of it. Once you have taken the mix out of the bowl, you want to knead your gum paste really well. And just keep in mind that you use the sugar you need. You might need the whole cup of sugar that you saved, you might need less, or you might need more. Make sure that before you start kneading your gum paste, you put a good amount of shortening on your hands. It will get sticky. If it gets too sticky at some point and everything sticks to your hands, I sometimes wash my hands, put more shortening, and keep kneading. Sometimes weather will affect the consistency of it. So if it happens that day everything is too humid and everything is sticking to your hands, just wash your hands, put more shortening, and keep kneading. You can use as much shortening as you want. I usually use between 3 to 4 teaspoons of shortening while I am making the gum paste. Most of the time I add some shortening to the paddle. I cover the bowl with the shortening, and I make sure that at every step I have shortening in everything I have so it doesn't stick to anything, and it works great. But to prove a point that gum paste is really easily done, in this video I didn't add the shortening to the paddle or the bowl, and I didn't even measure anything, only the Tylose. I did this so you can see that it's very easy to do. Once you get to know the texture of the royal icing mix and the texture of your gum paste, it is very easy to fix everything. I suggest that if you're not used to making gum paste, do measure everything. Get to learn how to make the gum paste first. Just knead the gum paste until you feel a texture that you like. You don't want it sticky. If you like it a little bit harder, just keep adding sugar. If you like it on the softer side, add less. Once I have the texture that I like, I knead well with some shortening in my hands and make sure that there's no powder coating around the gum paste. You can store this gum paste in the fridge for up to 6 months. As long as you seal it well, it will stay really good. I just take whatever I need, microwave it for around 10 to 15 seconds, knead it well, and use it. Once I am done, I put the rest in the refrigerator and store it away again. If when you start working with your gum paste you feel it's too soft, you can still add more sugar to it once it's finished. When you're done kneading your gum paste, you will find that it has sometimes a bubbly texture. That texture will go away once the gum paste rests. Yes, you can use this as soon as it's done, but if you need it in a hurry, at least let it rest for an hour. I tend to divide this in two and make sure to seal it well under plastic. So if your gum paste dries up, you can either add some fondant to it or you can add some of the softer gum paste to it. Once the gum paste has rested, you can see that the texture has changed. There is no cracks or bubbly texture in it, and it's still super elastic. I use gum paste for a lot of things. You can use it for figurines, for flowers, which I love because you can make them really thin, and you can use them for details in your cakes. You can mix it with fondant to make it softer. There's so much you can do with it, and it's edible. The recipe for this gum paste is posted in my website, and the link is posted in the comment box below. I hope you like this tutorial. Don't forget to visit me in Facebook, Instagram, subscribe to my blog. All the links are posted below. Until next time, ta-ta!